Hey guys, it started to rain here this afternoon, so I've decided I'm going to make some more of my pickles since there's not a lot I can do outside. And Seth had to leave, so what we need is well, this is 80 ounces, a gallon of dill pickles if you can find the gallon size. Not sliced whole. We're going to drain these and slice them in pretty thick chunks. Add 4 pounds of sugar and 1 bottle of Tabasco sauce. And I'm going to show y'all how to do that because we kind of got divided up. So I'm going to get a bowl out and I'm going to drain and get to cutting these pickles up. And then I'm going to come back and show y'all how to pack them back in this jar and what we need to do. These are sweet and spicy. With the amount of pickles and the sugar in here, this does not make them hot. I don't like stuff with a lot of heat. So this only makes it spicy. This is a 2-ounce bottle. And we will be adding the whole bottle. But if y'all want to be the hit of the barbecue, the summer picnic, the trip to the lake, the vacation trip, whatever it might be that y'all might be attending, that you might want to take some special pickles, a pint or a quart of these will get everybody's attention. These are really, really good. So let me get them drained and get them sliced up, and then I'll come back and show y'all how to put them together. This is what I used to make my potato salad with. And my son and his wife, all through the summer, I always make sure they have a quart. When they run out, I give them another quart because I make them by the gallon, usually a gallon at a time. And they eat them with every lunch they have all summer. They love them. It's their favorite. I gave a styrofoam cup to a friend of mine yesterday that stopped by to visit, and he asked me, was it mustard potato salad? And I told him yes. I had made potato salad the day before, and I used these pickles with mustard and onions and stuff. And he said, is it mustard? And I said, yes, but it don't taste like regular potato salad because it has my homemade pickles and it gives it a different taste. He told me that was the best potato salad. It was like one of the large styrofoam cups, and I gave him a to-go fork and he took it with him. And I live about 3 miles from his destination. And by the time he got there, he said he had eaten every bite of potato salad and wanted more. So I was glad to hear that he enjoyed it. So let me get these pickles cut up and we'll be back. Okay, so we've drained all the juice. All the juice off. And we're going to cut the ends. I might need a sharper knife. I don't think that was sharp enough. That one felt a little bit dull. I may have to sharpen a knife. I don't know. That's about, well, knuckle to knuckle's an inch. That's almost a 1/2 inch wide. So you want them pretty chunky, because when this water comes out of here, and this water's going to draw out of here, that's why we drain them. The juice is going to fill this jug back up. These pickles are going to shrink. They're full of a lot of water. So we need to, you need to cut them chunky so when they shrink, you'll still have a good sized pickle. So we're going to cut them in good sized chunks because they will shrink a lot. So just cut the ends off, get some good big chunks. And these will be crispy. They will not get soft. They will get crispy. And I know when you're, that one's kind of shriveled up, isn't it? I guess it got squished down underneath them. I don't know what happened to that one. Anyway, when we pack these back in the jar, we're going to start layering this up. So you just want a good layer. And then we're going to put a good amount of sugar on that. And just like when you put, there's a big clump of sugar, y'all. I'm going to break it up. And just like when you put salt, that juice is going to start drawing. See if I can get that plastic. Oh, y'all, hang on. Let me get the sugar off my hands. Y'all, I made a big thing of crock pot rice a couple of days ago, and I'm having to already make another pot. We done eat it up. And I was going to make some stir-fried rice. And I've done eat it up other ways. So I've got me, I cooked 2 cups the other day. And I got 4 cups. I got 4 cups in the Instapot right now cooking. It makes the best rice. I love it kind of sticky. It's great for stir-fried rice. After it gets cold and you use it for stir-fried rice, it's really good. It's great to make stir-fry and use leftover chicken or leftover meats. It's a good way to use up that that leftover meat, to not waste it when you have just a little bit, a cup or 2 of meat left. It's a great way to make a meal if you have a little rice on hand. Okay, let's see. Let's do a little bit more. And I'm going to try to wait a little bit and not upload this video until this water starts coming out of these pickles. And I'm going to show y'all how to keep it mixed, because you're going to have to turn it several times. All the sugar's got to be dissolved before you can refrigerate them. You can leave them in, well, I can't get that one to cut. You can leave them in this container. You can put them in pint jars. You can put them in quart jars. You can put them in a 2-quart jar. You can put them in a fancy jar and give them as gifts. Or you can just leave them right in this plastic container. And I usually jar mine up separately, because I usually keep a jar and I give one to my kids, and then usually I give one to, I have a couple of different friends that like them. And so I rotate them back and forth between those friends. One time I make them, one gets them, and the next time I'll give a jar to the other friend. But you just have to work the container and work that sugar down in there. And see, there's a lot of holes in there. And as you work the sugar down in there, you see it going down in there? See where it's moving? You just have to work it and get it down in there. And eventually this whole 4 pounds of sugar will be in this jar. I know it sounds like a lot, but trust me, if you don't have enough sugar in them, they're not gonna taste right. But when I get see the hole? There's holes all down in there. But as this becomes liquid, it will also, fill in those holes. So I'm just bumping that with the palm of my hand to knock the sugar. You can lift it and bump it. But it'll eventually, and do not add any water, trust me. I'm going to time this. I'm looking at the clock, and I'm going to time this to see how long the liquid comes so I can tell y'all when I come back. I'm going to get this going, and then I've got some other stuff to do. And I'll come back over here in 30 minutes or so. And of course, the hot sauce helps it to start melting. But you don't want to eat these right away. They're going to need to sit even after you put them in the refrigerator. I'm going to say at least 3 days, if not longer, because they're not going to taste right. Because sugar on a dill pickle is not pleasing to the palate. And that's what it's going to taste like until you let this marinate for a while. And then you get a whole new flavor. I don't know if y'all can see where I'm knocking that. It's still going down in there. And eventually, I'll just keep doing that till all the sugar gets in. And all this is going to turn into liquid. Y'all, I feel like I'm going to start sneezing. It's really, really, really cold here compared to 85 degrees. Being in the 40s and low 50s is freezing going from 85 and sunshiny. And it's been cloudy here since late yesterday evening. And it was supposed to rain a lot, but it's rained just enough that Seth can't work. And literally that's it. Like just sprinkles, just enough to have the top of the road wet and have the wood wet where he can't work on the porch or the fence. So it's supposed to rain all day. Listen to me. It's supposed to rain every day next week. So I'm really hoping that don't happen. We're supposed to have sunshine tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday. But since he didn't get the porch pressure washed today, he's got to have a day to do that. And then we got to have a day for it to dry before he can start sealing it. So it's a little disappointing. And I will add too that one of my very dear, dear, dear friends, her son is like my son. She's been really sick for 2 weeks. She's got COPD. She's been really sick, not being able to breathe, upper respiratory infection, the doctor said. They've had her on medication. The medicine doesn't seem to be working. He was trying to take her in for a checkup from the other doctor visit. And she was so weak, she just kind of collapsed. And he had to call an ambulance. And y'all, she's in ICU on life support. So please remember them in your prayers. It's very upsetting. I talked to him earlier, and he's already lost his dad some years back. suddenly. He just went to work, and from what I understand, just basically dropped dead just at work. So I'm not sure. Heart attack, I suppose. Anyway, he's still a young man, and he wants his mama around. He's got a very 2-year-old son, her grandson, and it's a bad deal, y'all. It's just a bad deal. So please, when I talked to him earlier, they were going to try to go eat. They had not eat today, and they were going to leave the hospital and try to go eat, but she was fighting, trying to pull the tube out, and they had to strap her down to the bed. And I know that's awful because my stepdad had to be tied down to the bed, and it's not something you want to see when they're in that bad of shape. My stepdad had a stroke and passed away too. No, he had an aneurysm, not a stroke. Had an aneurysm. And they had to go in and remove half of his skull. And he was in the nursing home about 2.5 months, hospital, nursing home, and finally passed away. And it was a horrible thing to have to watch and endure. And so I really hate it for him. Just ask God to keep her comfortable and give the kids peace and her family. She's got several sisters and pretty big family, and she's been a very, very dear friend to me. And actually, March the 1st will be 11 years since I had my colon surgery, and she was the one that started the idea, that got the ball rolling to give me benefit. If it hadn't have been for her, I don't know if that would have happened, because her and another friend actually discussed doing it. And then when everybody got word that they were trying to do it, everybody jumped on board. More people than I even knew I had friends, y'all, jumped on board to do that for me. And the building was donated. A local club here in town donated their facility, and I had numerous bands that people I was acquainted with that stepped on board, that played music all day and all afternoon. And briskets were donated. My cousin cooked the meat, and I had tons of people that volunteered, that came and that served that food. They sold that food for $10 a plate. A number of businesses in town donated things for an auction, and they did a silent auction. And one of the things was like 5 oil changes at a dealership that I did business with. And the next time, a few months after I was up and about, I went to get my oil changed, and they told me I didn't know anything. And I said, well, how does that happen? I mean, I didn't pay for it, And they said that those donated oil changes had been bought by somebody at the benefit and had been donated back to me for my car. Y'all, I cried. I just sat down right there in their lobby and just cried, and still don't know who did that. Still don't know who did it. But they knew I bought my car there, and that's where I would take it for my oil change. So I had 5 oil changes that was paid for. About then, $70, $65 or $70 a pop. So I was very, very blessed. I had to be off of work at least 6 weeks, and then here and there some more days. And so the money I got covered everything that I needed. And this friend that's sick is the reason why that benefit happened. So please remember her in your prayers. That if it's God's will that she'll recover. And if she don't, then we'll know she's gone home to be with her husband, who she's missed very dearly all these years. She's been not happy without him, but she's done the best she could. So I'll come back. Y'all can already see that this is getting wet. It's changing. And when this becomes more liquid, I'll be able to add the other sugar. So we'll come back when this starts liquefying to show y'all what it looks like. Okay, guys, it's been about 45 minutes or so. And I want to show y'all. See how that sugar is wet now? So our juices are pulling out, and I've just taken my wooden spoon and I'm pressing around to try to get it pushed down in there as far as it'll go so I can add the rest of the sugar. So I just wanted to show y'all what it looks like when the juice starts coming out of those pickles. See, it's wet and some of it's dry, but it'll all be wet and it'll all be juice, just like it was in the very beginning, before we drained the pickle juice out. And if y'all have another purpose for the pickle juice, y'all let me know, because I usually just pour it out because I don't ever know what to do with it unless the kids are here and they want to drink it. Okay, so that empties our bag, 4-pound bag of sugar. White granulated sugar, any brand you want to use. So I'm gonna put the lid, get that syrup or juice, looks like syrup. Get that juice off there so it don't run down the side and make a mess. So now our lid will go back on. Let me rinse my hand off. I've been getting my rice out of the cooker and separating it out into containers to make food the next few days. Maybe I'll get my stir-fried rice made that I've been wanting to do. But that's what it looks like, and I'm gonna come back in maybe a couple of hours and show y'all. Before I go to bed, there'll be some liquid in here, and I'm gonna show y'all that before I post this video. Okay, it's been a couple of hours since I mixed this up, and you can see how the liquid is coming out of the pickles. It's almost my bedtime, so I'm probably going to leave these sitting on the counter because it's quite cool here tonight, around 40 degrees, and it's cooler in the house, so they'll be fine till in the morning, because you cannot refrigerate them until all that sugar is totally dissolved, because it won't dissolve in the cold, and I think that's why it hasn't already dissolved, because it's too cold in the house. I've got the house cool. So we're just going to leave these sitting on the counter, and then they will need to sit in the refrigerator 3 or 4 days before you try to eat them, because they're going to need a few days to take on the flavors. Because right now, I can assure you, they do not taste good. I've tried them more than once, and every time I've tried them, it's not good. I can promise you. So this is what they turn out to look like. And you can see, I mean, I poured all the liquid out, and I told you the liquid was going to come out of the pickles, and that's why we wanted to cut them chunky, so they will still be chunky. So you can see that's a lot of juice. Well, there's my finger, so that's at least 2 inches of just juice at the bottom. So they shrink quite a bit, so just keep that in mind if you make them. They're really easy to make, and they last a long time. I've had some in a small jar that got pushed to like the second shelf or third shelf in the refrigerator, that was in there like a year. And when we found them, we eat them and they were fine. But, you know, you do what you want to do. My pickles were fine. That's all I'm saying, is they last a long, long time. Because the dill pickles were already processed. And if you get a jar that's good for a year, the expiration date's good for a year, then your pickles are going to last a year or longer in your refrigerator. Mine never last that long because they get eaten up really, really quick. So we go through several jars of these in the summer months, especially because of the types of food we eat. We want these pickles alongside that food. So if you grill a lot, if you barbecue, if you have sandwiches of any kind, these pickles are the excellent side. Y'all be blessed. Know you're loved. Thanks for watching. And I got my Instapot out and cleaned up. I'm going to make some boxed milk yogurt tomorrow. So that'll be another video coming your way. Y'all be blessed, and we'll see y'all in the next video. I thought I'd come back real quick and show you how I've been flipping this, because all the sugar settles to the bottom. So I flip it, let it set a little while, then I flip it back over. That's why I have it in this bowl in case it leaks, because my shoulders don't allow me to shake it. And you're supposed to shake or roll it, and you can put a towel on the cabinet and just roll the bottle back and forth every 30 minutes or an hour just to keep this mixed up. I've just been coming through the kitchen and flipping it over, and that works fine. And if it sits on the counter long enough, it's going to melt and dissolve anyway. It just melts a lot quicker if you keep it moving.